Hello.
Casey and Stephen here.
Yeah, just the two of us.
Stephen
just
and Casey.
The two of us. I don't care how the rest of the song goes.
So we wanted.
That was awkward. I talk. No, you talk. No, you talk. I talk.
Okay. So we wanted to stop in and say hi.
Hello. See you later. Bye.
So recently we hit 100 subscribers.
Thanks to you guys.
Yes, thank you to you guys. A lot of people, they're like, oh, that's nothing. But to us, it's a lot. We've come a long ways with our homestead, and we're just so excited to be able to share it with everyone else.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot more.
Yes.
A lot more to do, and there's a lot that's been done. It's been hard to sit down and edit the videos and put more together. So we have videos of the house coming in. We have videos of the septic. We have videos of all kinds of stuff that we've done on the farm. Inside the house, outside.
Yes. So we're working on it.
There's been some setbacks.
A lot of setbacks. But we keep pushing forward, and I keep having to remind Stephen that he has accomplished a lot since we've just been doing this. The house was delivered in February. We had a setback in February as the house was being delivered. And the stuff that we've gotten done since then has just been spectacular. We have running water in the house. We have electricity throughout the house. We almost have a kitchen. We just got to get plumbing hooked up for that and get our cabinets and stuff hooked to the wall. And the boys have their clothes hanging up in their room.
Yeah.
Out of our room.
Yeah, it was all of their clothes were in our rooms, so getting ready for church Sunday mornings has always been a chore, because 4 people trying to get out of one closet, out of little cabinets and things, trying to get everything, and it was always
got to get cut out.
It was always a mess.
You're gonna cut that out.
You cut it out. Cut it out. Anywho, that's who we are. We're goofballs.
We are. So no, we're actually headed. Steven's going with me. I'm a local realtor, and
she's very local. Oh, local, not loco. Sorry.
So we're heading to a listing appointment, and Steven's gonna be my photographer today.
But main thing we wanted to do was thank you guys first and foremost, and give you guys a bit of an update and kind of let you know who we are as people.
I'm me and he's he.
But the farm's coming along. We are now up to, we've been kind of downsizing on some of our chickens and stuff. But as far as chickens, we're at what, 34 chickens
And two
turkeys. We have 5 full-size quail, but we have around 60 baby quail. They're about like that. They're
little guys.
Week and a half old, I think. We've got our 2 cows, our
9 goats?
9 goats. Yeah, 9. Got 9 goats. Then
2 dogs.
Yeah, 2 dogs now, and then 2 pigs.
2 pigs.
Rabbits. We have what, about 30 rabbits, I think.
I haven't counted the rabbits lately.
They multiply.
Well, we had
Really
3 that recently had babies, so
Oh.
I haven't counted those.
Yeah.
We're actually, yesterday we kind of started talking about it. I'm pretty sure we're going to be having guineas soon, so we'll keep you
Not
guys.
very many.
Not very many.
So that's a little bit about the farm and what the current situation with it is. Probably next year or 2, we're planning on doing a greenhouse, so that way we can grow our own vegetables. We want to do some fruit trees and a few things along that lines there, vegetation, and then something that I'd kind of like to get into just because I like it. Is the honeybees.
Oh yeah.
You didn't know what I was saying?
I had no idea. I was lost for a minute.
I was lost, dude. I need a hug.
That is a mutual agreement. I was just lost.
But no, wanting to get into honeybees. I love honey. We all love their honey, and it's got a lot of health benefits for it too. But our whole end goal is to have a self-sustaining homestead, so that a way if something crazy happens, it doesn't really affect us a whole lot. We've got enough stuff going on as it is right now, and it was actually kind of funny. We went to Walmart the other day to get something, and we'd realized it had been about a month since we'd been to the store. And we've got
any grocery store.
Well, yeah, and we've got little things here and there and stuff, but for the most part, it used to be a weekly thing going. And if it's already starting to show, to helping us now, that's.
And really, all we went to the store was for just basic essentials.
Yeah.
We didn't go grocery shopping.
No, we didn't actually.
Mm-mm.
So, actually, some of the stuff
we do need to go grocery shopping here pretty soon.
Yeah. You got so much Roman noodles and fresh pork.
He's crazy.
But yeah, that's kind of our plan for down the road, so that we have everything working for us. We'll have our milk from our goats, eggs, fresh meat, fresh fruits and vegetables, and honey. Just got to figure out some way to grow coffee beans. But so anyway, that's kind of the plan of the farm. Two, we want to talk a little bit about us, so you guys kind of get to know who we are, a little bit more of where we're from. You guys know we're mainly from Oklahoma, and both small farms. This is kind of our comfort. With us, when we were talking about, had a little bit of a setback. A little bit of history on me. I've had some issues with my right hip for years. The only thing I can think of when I was younger is I got hit by a car, and it caused lasting damage. So when I got hit by the car, it caused issues with my hip, and I took in a few years down the road. In 2010, I had to have a hip surgery. 2018, had another hip surgery. And then last year, 2021, they actually went in there and did a total hip replacement. I had some other issues that was going on, some stones that were intermingled to my sciatic nerve and caused a lot of pain. And I'm still kind of somewhat recovering from that. It's been a wild recovery. And so, but prior to my hip replacement, they found out I was anemic, and I was so low on my iron and my blood count, the doctors were just shocked that I was able to even function. So they got me, iron infusions, got me back up what I needed to be, and then had my hip replacement. Fast forward a year later, now my body produces too much blood, and my numbers are through the roof, and they're, with all of those numbers and everything it was, back in the middle of February, right when they were fixing to deliver our house, the weekend before they delivered our house, I had a mild stroke, and that set everything back drastically. It made it where it was scary. Didn't know if we were still going to be able to. I mean, we already paid for the house. It was a shell. It was coming, and we were wondering what are we going to do? How is this going to work? How are we going to still build our homestead while suffering? Because I couldn't even hardly move. I was able to move, but I had to walk with a cane. I was very dizzy, a lot of disorientation. Mentally, I couldn't fathom a thought. So it made it where it was difficult to communicate. Even with Casey, there was times that I would try to tell her, hey, I need to do this, but I can't fathom a thought on how to say it, and I would be lost for words, or trying to say the words and just couldn't say them. So, and it's been a lot coming back from that, and I've got all my mobility back. I've got probably, I'd say 98% of my mental back. There's been no lasting impressions. God's been good, and there's been a lot of prayer going around for me for healing on that. So, but it's just that's kind of some of the struggles that we've been going through, but we're making it. We're still doing things, moving forward. We haven't had any major setbacks as far as with the build, for the most part. So that's a little bit about me. That's enough about me. Let's talk about you. My lovely wife, Kristen.
I don't have much to talk about. With everything that was going on with him, it was very scary as a wife, because they were telling me right before his surgery that before they caught that he was anemic, they said if they would have got him on the operating table, would have nicked even just the tiniest vessel, he could have bled out on the table. So that was very scary. It was a lot of stress. And then obviously back in February, that was even more stress, which kicked in whenever I have an ADHD, but it's never really affected me a whole lot. But since all that happened, I haven't been able to focus on just what's in front of me. So I've been struggling with that lately, but doing better. It's really all about me. I'm good.
I think a lot of it has, whenever you're building a homestead, there's a lot of struggles in mountains, obstacles, there we go, that you go through, and it's very trying of you and your sanity. So seeing a lot of things that we could have done differently.
And we're even changing things in the middle of the build.
Yeah.
Nothing drastic.
No.
Like our shower, we were planning on doing a walk-in shower, which we may still do. A walk-in shower that had the tiled walls and stuff like that. And we already have all the material to do it. But our whole inside of our house is a barn theme. It's something that, one, it gets us a shower a lot quicker inside the house because winter is coming.
That is correct, because we still don't have a shower in the house. We use a garden hose, the sun heat, and an old camping shower tent from years ago. And if the wind's blowing and you don't have somebody there holding the shower tent,
you naked in the wilderness with neighbors. No, and I actually go to a local gym every so often to take a shower whenever it's too late, because by then the water's too cold to take a shower. Not saying I haven't done it.
Oh yes,
but
there's been some cold showers.
But once we have an indoor shower, I'm never going to complain about anything ever again.
Anything?
Well, when it comes to shower.
I heard it. You heard it.
When it comes to a shower, let me reiterate that.
We did add attic litter.
Attic litter.
We did
got
add
attic litter.
We added some glitter. Jinx, you owe me a Coke or something like that.
Peach Poke, you owe me a Coke.
There's that too. Anyway, so we added an attic ladder for the boys on their side. So that way it's easier for them to go up and down, and we close it up, which is out of the way. We got rid of the ladder. We did have an incident with Casey. Yeah.
Maybe. Just a little one.
Yeah. So right after we got the place, we were putting some laundry up in one of the lofts for storage. And I stepped away from the ladder just to grab something to hand up to her, and she was right up the top of the ladder, kind of where the loft is. She leaned forward. When it done that, the bottom of the ladder came
And I'd climbed
out.
up that ladder 500 times before.
Yeah, no problem at all. And so the bottom of it came out, so the ladder done one of these things here and down, and then she went straight down, luckily landed between the steps, but then fell back, and it's a ladder with like 1 inch tall ridges on it to for the steps, and she landed right on like her hips on one of those.
On my back.
Yeah, on her. She landed on her back, and it was real scary because she hurt. It was like, hold on, wait a minute, you know, kind of thing.
At first, I laughed, and then the whole realization of what had happened, I went into shock.
I mean, for her being so short, I mean, falling 3 foot is detrimental to her.
It was like 7 foot.
Double detrimental. Dun, dun, dun.
But anyway, I was in shock at the beginning. I did laugh, and then I figured out the realization of what I'd done and how I fell and how I was hurting. And I thought I had broke my back or something. Or my hip.
Yeah.
I thought I had broke my hip. And so Steven started to help me off the ladder. I screamed. It hurt. So they rolled me off onto something flat and then got me up. I ended up going to the ER hours later because I'm like, oh, I'm fine. Luckily, I did no damage, only muscle damage.
And bruises.
And bruises.
Ugly bruises.
Huge, ugly bruises. But it was a miracle. I'm very thankful.
You were sore for days.
I sat back for a week and a half.
Yeah.
So I couldn't move.
So it seems like, as you guys kind of get to know us,
I'm a klutz.
Yeah, there's that. It seems like whenever she gets hurt really bad, I get hurt really bad. Or if I get hurt really bad, if I'm down, then she gets down. We don't do anything halfway. We've always done everything
Our bodies like
together.
Want to be equal. Yeah. I didn't do the hip replacement thing though.
No.
My body thankfully ignored that.
Yeah. But
we can't take turns. We just have to do it right there at the same time.
Try to get it all over so we have our goods and the bads, ups and the downs, quite literally.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of that happened soon after we got the house. So yeah, we are talking too much. Anyway, so about the boys, Caven, our oldest, he will be 13 in a month, a little over a month and a half or so, and he's going to be a teenager. It's going to be interesting, but we love him to death. Wouldn't trade him for the world, but he's a handful. Some of you know that he does have ADHD, which has its own obstacles and challenges with that, and then too, he has high functioning autism, which has a whole nother realm of
very, very high functioning. I want to add that.
Yes. He has a very hard time focusing on something, but when he does get locked in on something, it's hard to break it's like a heat-seeking missile. You can't break the concentration on it. He does really good at baseball. That's where he really focuses on, and he's an all-star with that for sure.
Yeah, and if he starts something, he has to finish it. If sometimes it can get a little overwhelming, and it's something we don't really want him to do. So, not trying to say that in like a controlling parental thing, but it's like stuff that doesn't need to be done, or we're not ready for that step, but he's already on that step. And we'll tell him to stop, and he literally goes into a panic attack because he doesn't know how to stop something before it's finished.
Yeah, and he's got a big heart. He's the type that if he sees somebody in need or somebody needs help, he will jump in and more or less push them out of the way and take control of it.
Whether they want that help or not, they're getting it.
And that's caused a lot of problems in school where he gets bullied a lot because he butts in where he doesn't need to butt in, and he doesn't understand personal space. But he's a very, very hard worker on the farm. It's more or less we tell him, hey, this needs to be done, this, and this, and he gets it done. It may take him a little bit because he's still learning on some things, and he gets frustrated with some stuff when it doesn't work out right, but he's got some very good work ethics. We're blessed with him on that aspect. There's Charles. Talking about work ethics. Charles is our youngest.
He's our smiley kid.
He smiles whether he's in trouble, whether he's doing something good, doing something bad. He's our smiler. And if He loves cooking. He actually grafts onto it as far as, gets the cookbook and knows, he understands the different flavors of seasonings and things like that. He brings out.
He made us some rabbit adobo, couple weeks back.
Yeah. Farm fresh rabbit
adobo. It was good, but I'm not a fan of soy sauce, and he used way too much. But
no,
he understood where he messed up in the recipe too.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and he already started making plans of what he'll do next.
Yeah, and how to correct it. And it was stuff that he figured out on his own, like you said.
All on his own.
But Charles, he was a little guy. He had a lot of health issues when he was younger. He was 4 pounds 10 ounces when he was born, full term, but his
17 inches long.
Yeah, his lungs didn't develop all the way, so we were back and forth to ER nonstop, and it was just a mess. He had allergies that you didn't even know existed. He was allergic to almost every food under the sun. But he's got the asthma, allergies, eczema, and things like that. So it's hard for him to do a whole lot of physical stuff, especially when it's real humid. His asthma and things starts kicking up, and he has issues breathing.
But thankfully, all the food allergies are done.
Yeah.
Every so often, he'll have issue with dairy.
Yeah.
To where he says that it itches his throat. He's doing a whole lot better. The food allergies are basically gone. He does have issues with the asthma, but it doesnly really start until like right now with the rainy season, which I'm having issues with my own asthma at this time. And then in the winter he usually gets pretty bad. I don't know what this winter is gonna do.
Yeah. We've had a very productive monsoon season this year.
Well, if you guys have seen on one of our videos where our chicken coop floods. That wasn't the only time it happened. It's still mucky and muddy. We gotta figure out we got to put some dirt in there to raise the ground and some absorbent stuff because it's all yucky. It's muddy.
And that's kind of, I guess, what we can kind of wind the video down with is that, when we got the property in November, it was bare land, and we've put 2 storage sheds on there, built a storage shed, hauled in a chicken coop that was basically cut in half, and we put it all back together.
That was fun.
No, we don't talk about that shed no more.
I got in trouble. I'm not allowed to tell people that we'll come get their sheds anymore.
Anyway, so and then the house, we're doing that. So there's been a lot that's happened, and now that the rains are coming in, we're seeing that more or less where we put everything at, it's kind of where all the water flows. So I got to get the tractor out there and build up some berms or whatever you call them to kind of deflect the water in different places, because as it is right now, the water flows right through our walking path and everything. So
if we were to start over, I would definitely, and this is for anybody that's planning on building a homestead on vacant piece of land that nobody's ever lived on, I would highly recommend putting your house in place and then wait for rains and stuff to come in and see where the rains go. Because if we would have done that, all of our chicken coops and everything would have been at the front of our property where it's less floody.
It's so floody.
So we're having to raise the grounds over with the goats and stuff for their enclosures. We're having to change out their straw every single day because it gets muddy, and then also too, our chickens keep going in there and stealing their new fresh stuff.
But yeah, I mean, it's
a work in progress.
Yeah.
I mean, another thing too I'd do differently is wait on the farm animals. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm so excited that by the time our house is finished, we're gonna have pigs that are already having piglets. We're gonna have, we already have eggs producing with the chickens. We have the quail that are growing. By the time we're done with the house, at least one of our cows will be ready to go. We're already having goat, the rabbits. I mean, yes, I do love that we already have things producing on the farm, But with all the time and the money and the effort that we've already put toward all the farm animals, that could have went toward the house, and the house would be done by now.
Yeah.
So that is another thing that I would do differently.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we didn't, if that makes sense.
Yeah. That was our initial plan, because our plan was to have, basically, by the time the house is done, we already have
A working farm.
a working farm. So that way, when the house is done, we can sit on the front porch at the evening time and hear the animals and enjoy everything.
Yeah.
So that's
and we've
still our
learned a
plan.
lot.
Yep.
We've learned a lot.
Yeah, we're going on too long
Yeah. Hi, how you doing? Cut out that whole part.
here. Yeah, probably so.
I did not react, and you can find and see.
But the whole purpose of this video is so you guys to get to know us, because
They got to know us a little too much.
Yeah, a little too much. But we're super appreciative of all of our subscribers, all of you guys. We're starting to get a little bit more momentum. It's kind of getting us excited, because it's like we've got people that's been reaching out to us and saying, man, I love your guys' content, love your guys' videos, can't wait to see more. But we really appreciate you guys very much, and there's going to be more to come.
And I'll be involved in more too, instead of just this bald, hairy guy. I mean, there's a lot more to us than just what this video is, but this gives a drift.
Yep. You kind of don't understand where we're coming from, what we some of the struggles we're having to go through,
And the reason for us doing the farm.
Yep.
Getting the kids out of the city and back on the land.
Yep.
So.
But thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Please like this if you like it.
Subscribe.
If you don't like it, hit the unlike, the thumbs down, hit it twice. So that way it really proves that you don't like it.
Have a good one, guys. We look forward to getting to know you guys too.
Yes, definitely. Maybe someday we can do a meetup.
Yes.
All right.